I love a swim jig for fishing around shallow cover. And I mean, it doesn't matter if it's bushes, grass, boat docks, rocks, anything. A swim jig just always performs. I mean, it's so weedless, it's so versatile. You can skip it, you can cast it, you can fish it in open water, you can fish it shallow, you can fish it deep. It just flat works, and it goes through cover and catches bass. So I like to use a swim jig in a lot of different scenarios, and I'm gonna throw a color that matches the forage. But the most important thing on your swim jig is the trailer itself. You wanna pick a trailer that fits those conditions. So again, the first thing I'm gonna look at is the water clarity. The dirtier the water, the more action I want out of my swim jig. So I'm gonna use something that has a lot of vibration, a lot of flap, a lot of movement. My number one choice, a Strike King Rage Craw. So it's got a lot of displacement, it's got a wide stance. Those pinchers, even at the slowest speeds, they're really flapping back and forth, and it sends off a lot of vibration. So in dirty water and super thick cover, it draws the bass to it. Then I'm gonna pick a color, you know, for that water clarity. So, you know, black and blue, white, you know, green pumpkin, bluegill colors. Those are my go-tos every single day. So if the water's just kind of stained and, you know, maybe the cover's a little more sparse, I kind of want to go in between that. So to me, the perfect trailer is that Strike King Scound Bug. You know, it's got a lot of action in those pinchers still, but it's much subtler. I mean, it's not near as wide, it doesn't have as much lift. It'll, you know, the bait will run a little bit deeper in the same size weight, and it has still a lot of action. The subtle bait that I like is a Strike King Menace. So when the water's a little bit more clear, and I throw this one a lot for smallmouth, even when there's not a lot of cover, just around rocks and things like that, that Menace is a small profile, still has a ton of action, and it just, it really, really works well. Lets that bait get a little bit deeper. You can reel a little bit faster, keep it in the water column. All these baits, you know, have tremendous action to them, but you wanna have the right profile for the situation that you're in. A swim jig is just so versatile. You know, I like to throw it on my KVD GC8, you know, in open water and heavy cover situations. You know, this is a 7.5 foot rod. It's got a medium heavy action, it's got a soft tip to it, and it just really has a ton of power. I'm gonna put it on a 7.5-to-1 reel, 50-pound braid, and man, you just go to work with this outfit here. If you're really fishing over a lot of, you know, grass where you want to keep it up high, you can use it on a high speed, you know, on an 8.3-to-1 reel. But every day, this is my swim jig setup. I mean, even in clear water, that braid, man, you keep that thing moving, you can make a long cast, you get great hook sets, and you can get those fish out of the cover. A swim jig is a bait you absolutely have to have tied on. If you're fishing shallow cover, it's my go-to.